Good morning, M4. In today's English, we are going to learn about this sign. Do you remember that sign in our punctuation? Yes, that sign is an apostrophe or apostrophes for plural, apostrophe for singular. Before we have quickly talked about apostrophe, but this lesson we are going to go through the usage of apostrophes, all right? And please do take now notes. I have sent the meaning of apostrophes in your notes down below there. You can check it out and copy that on your notepad as well. Also, rather in activity 2, you will find meaning and usage of apostrophe and contraction. Please copy that down in your notebook. Okay, so we have language focus here. I also sent a copy of this in your notes down below, so you can just open or you can also pause here and copy, but you can also open the material I sent and then you can write it down. Okay, so we are going to talk about apostrophes. Apostrophes, this sign, they have two main jobs or two main functions. The first one, we have contractions, and the second one, we have here possession. But in this lesson, we are going to focus about apostrophe, and the first job is contractions. We are going to focus on that one. So let me just hide the meaning of possession. Okay. So for contraction, we use that to show where letters or sound have been left out when words or sounds are combined or shortened. All right, so it's like two words and then we combine them and then we use apostrophe, and that we call contractions. Sorry, the examples are down here. Cannot. We are not using the second N and we replace that with apostrophe, and instead of saying cannot, we say can't. Okay, so can't is a contraction of cannot. Another example we have here, do not. Do not. We remove N and we put do and not together and use the apostrophe and you say it don't. So don't is a contraction of do not because we remove N and then use apostrophe. The third example we have I will. I will. In this contraction, we put I will together and we remove two letters, the W and the letter I, the small letter I. And then we use apostrophe and the result is I'll. So I'll is a contraction of I will. Okay, so simple as that. So that is our contraction. We use it a lot in our daily conversation. I can't go to school today because I feel sick. I don't want to eat vegetables. I'll play later during break time. So these are the contractions that we use. Actually just examples, and there are a lot more contractions. And we use contraction when we speak, as just what same like with the example I just gave. But usually we use full words in formal writing. Okay, so we do not or we don't use contraction when we write formally. Okay, in formal writing we don't use contraction, but usually when we speak we use contractions a lot. Okay. So simple as that. That's your contractions. Now, for contractions, we have two activities. So I will explain to you the first activity and listen to the instructions properly. So for your first activity, I already sent it down with a tag contractions activity 1 worksheet. You open it. If you can print it, then you just write the answer down below. There are numbers 1 to 10 down there, so you can just write the answer down there. If you cannot print it, it's okay. You just write the answers only. You can write the answers on your notepad. Okay. So the first activity looks like this. Yes. I'm not sure if you can really see it properly. I hope you can. Let me see. Yes, that's it. I sent a paragraph, this paragraph, and what you will do is you're going to go through it because there are underlined words and contractions in it. So what you will do, you will look for the underlined words. For example, here, if the underlined is a contraction, what you need to do is to write the two words that consist or makes up that contraction. Okay, for example, this one, the underlined word is aren't. So what you will do is you're going to write aren't down here. You're going to write, this is just an example, you're going to write aren't equals are not. Do you understand? I'll write it down so you can see. Okay, so here, like for the example, it says aren't. So on your notepad or on your paper, you can write number 1, aren't. You also have to write the underlined word, okay? Aren't. And then if this is the underline, you have to write it down, and then the two words that makes up aren't. So the answer will be are not, okay? That's the example. And then number 2, again, you go through the text here. You check. Graphology is the study of handwriting. Is not a new science. So the underlined word here, or there are actually two words underlined, is not. So I'll give that one as an example as well, or bonus. So I will write number 2, for example, is not. So if there are two words underlined, like for this one is not, what you will do is you're going to copy is not on your notebook and write the contraction equivalent. What is the contraction of is not? So you write isn't. That's the answer. Simple as that. Okay, again, the instruction for this activity, for the activity 1, is if a contraction is underlined in the paragraph, write the two words that make it up. Okay, like this. Contraction is underlined, and then you write the two words that make it up. The next is if two words are underlined, write the contraction that they will form. Like this one. Two words are underlined in this paragraph, so you write the contraction that they will form. Okay? There are 10 of them. Let me see. Yes, there are 10 of them. 10 of them underlined in the paragraph, so you have to write the underlined contraction or underlined words and the equivalent answers. Okay, so that's for activity 1. For activity 2, I will explain that as well. Where's the book? For activity 2, it looks like this. Okay, let me just change the camera. So for activity 2, it looks like this. By the way, like what I've said earlier, this part on top, please write it down in your notebook. Okay, it has the meaning as well, and the use of contraction. Okay, write it down. So for your activity 2, you have this. If you can print it out, then all you have to do is just to draw a line to match the contraction, like this example. Okay, but if you can't print this out, what you'll do is just copy, example, you copy its, and then you write the equivalent pair of words that match its. Okay, example, let's say the first one is its. So in your notepad, you can write number 1, its equivalent, it is. So that is how you are going to do if you're going to write it down in your notebook. Okay, simple as that. This part is the contractions, and this part are the words that consist or makes up the contraction. All right, so 2 activities, and it's all about contractions. If you have any questions, just write down in our WhatsApp group. And yeah, don't forget to take clear photos, okay? Don't forget to take clear photos, not too far. All right? Good luck.